tonight we're going to talk about what we can do inside the laboratory to help increase our hospital's patient satisfaction scores, okay? So just last year, the Affordable Care Act implemented this paid-for-performance system. And what it does is ties the Medicare reimbursement rates directly to hospitals' performance, okay? The survey is called the Hospital Consumer Assessment of Healthcare Providers and Systems. Now, in the industry, we just call it Press-Ganey for short, and that's what I'm going to refer to it this evening for you guys. And I'm going to explain this in a little more detail in just a moment. But in our hospital, you know, our scores are far below average, okay? And what's happening is it's, you know, decreasing our Medicare reimbursement rates for the past 6 months as compared to previous fiscal time periods, okay? So, we, inside the laboratory, asked to do our part to help improve our scores, okay? So it's important that, you know, to understand that there's a sizable percentage of the population who are Medicare beneficiaries, which are our hospital's revenues, okay? And this is only expected to increase in the next few decades as, you know, more and more baby boomers, you know, get to retirement age. So we need to improve our scores today to guarantee our hospital's financial security tomorrow. So I just want to bring to your attention this joint research study of marketing and management professors at both Georgetown and USC. And I'm going to refer to this study a few times throughout my presentation. But what it's saying is hostility in a workplace often has a way of trickling down to customers, whether or not they experience it directly. Okay? So imagine yourself at, you know, your favorite restaurant, and your server this evening, she's a little off, maybe a little rude. Okay? Could there be some hostility going on behind the scenes, back in the kitchen, and it's just being played out at your table? Chances are yes, okay? And that's what's going on inside our hospital, okay? But it's being played out at the patient's bedside. Okay, so, again, inside the laboratory, we're asked to help do our part to improve our hospital's patient satisfaction scores. So tonight we're going to go over our current Press-Ganey scores, how creating a friendlier work environment will be beneficial in increasing our Press-Ganey scores. So, as I said, our hospital's Medicare reimbursement rates are low due to our poor scores, okay? Now, the Press-Ganey survey, it's standardized, okay? It's sent out to patients once they've, you know, had their stay inside the hospital. It consists of a variety of 27 questions that range from, you know, the patient's communications experience between their doctors and nurses, all the way to their pain management outcomes, and a lot of stuff in between, okay? Now, 18% of our region's population base and our hospital base are Medicare beneficiaries. And within the next 2 decades, we expect this percentage to increase to 26%, once again, as the baby boomer generation approaches retirement ages, okay? So where we stand, you know, our scores are far below national and state averages, and as I mentioned, it's reducing our Medicare reimbursement rates, and therefore reducing the amount of monetary funds we have available for our salaries and our hospital-wide initiatives. Okay. So, again, we're in the laboratory. We work behind the scenes. We don't have direct patient access. Okay? So, what is it we can do to help? Creating a friendlier work environment between our laboratory staff and our hospital's frontline personnel will help increase our scores. Even though we don't have direct patient access, we do interact directly with the hospital's frontline personnel, the doctors and nurses that actually treat our patients, okay? We talk to them on the telephone, we see them in the elevators, we see them in the cafeteria. We're with these people every day. We communicate with them every day. The Georgetown USC research study. When patients are exposed to positive work environments, they're more inclined to recommend our services to others, which means, you know, they're more inclined to score us higher on their Press-Ganey surveys. So, creating a friendlier work environment is how we can, in an indirect way, affect our Press-Ganey scores in a positive way. Okay. So, how does this all work? How does being kind and friendly to one another trickle down to the patient so that they can score us higher on our scores? Okay. I'm going to play for you this video. It's a Liberty Mutual commercial. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the company, but it'll help give you sort of a visual of how being, friendly to each other can trickle down to the patient.
When it's people who do the right thing, they call it being responsible. When it's an insurance company, they call it Liberty Mutual. Responsibility. What's your policy? Liberty Mutual.
I had this before. Okay, there we go. It worked before I started. So, as evident in the commercial, okay, being kind and courteous to our coworkers throughout the hospital, it creates this powerful trickle-down effect that one person can't realize. All right, and it's also mentioned in the Georgetown USC study. All right, so being kind and courteous to our coworkers is going to create a friendlier work environment, creates a better patient experience, increases our Press Ganey scores, and increases our Medicare reimbursement rates ultimately. Okay? Now, if we don't act, our hospital administrators are not going to have any other choice but to find other ways to shield us from these financial losses. In the short run, it can include, no salary increases, possible job layoffs, a hiring freeze on additional staff, reducing and eliminating employee perks and benefits and more. In the long run, we can lose market share and possibly even, close our doors. So, when we show up in the morning, guys, we have to leave our differences at the door, okay? As evident in our scores, it's showing up in the patient's bedside, okay? So not only do we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our patients. So in conclusion, by working in the laboratory behind the scenes, we can still have an indirect way in improving our patient satisfaction scores, okay? Creating a friendlier work environment and being kind and courteous to our fellow coworkers throughout the hospital will increase the patient experience, which will translate into higher Press Ganey scores and ultimately higher Medicare reimbursement rates. So, this is where I need your help. I need to get our staff on board. How can we get our staff throughout the laboratory to embrace this new culture and mindset and keep it sustainable? Any suggestions? Money. Okay. That's always a good one. Anybody else? Andrew?
Like a performance reward. So your patient you work on has a good Press Ganey score, you may get some kind of perk.
Okay. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that one.
Morale boosting activities.
Morale boosting activities. Such as what?
A 5K.
Or a 5K?
Give points for the sit-up.
Okay. All right, so those are some valuable